All right, welcome to the Relentless game, turning life's chaos into power. So last week we did a question and answer. We just took questions from emails, but also from Instagram messages and all the things. Last week we covered four different questions. First question was, why do you keep falling back into the same pattern even after you get momentum? How do I rebuild trust with my wife and kids after breaking so many choices and promises? And then I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, working out, reading, praying, but I still feel like something's missing. And then the last question was, how do I stay disciplined when my environment, work, friends, or even family keeps pulling me back to bad habits? So if that was something that you missed last week episode, go back and listen to those four questions if it's something that you're interested on the answer. Today we're going to answer a few more. So I've got a clock set, and we're just going to rapid fire and answer these questions. So I haven't even went over these yet, so they're going to be coming straight from
raw.
yeah. I'm tired of living numb. How do I actually feel alive again without blowing up my life? So this piece of it is having a mission. For me, I have so much obstacles and issues that are thrown at me left and right. But if I didn't have a mission of why I was doing it, then it would be one of those things where I probably wouldn't follow through. I'd still follow through, but it would be way harder and way more difficult for me to follow through. And so, like, the tired of living numb. When I hear numb, what that's telling me that there's potential to that you may be numbing out with some type of substance. That may be food, that may be alcohol, that may be weed, that may be pills, that may be golf. Like there's dudes that golf like every 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And like spending time, energy, and money. That's a sedation, just like with anything else. Like, yeah, it's a good one. It's probably one that you would want to choose, but it's still taking time from your
It's an escape from reality.
yeah, it's taking time from your family and things like that as well. And it's like, you're not going to be Tiger Woods, bro. Like, if you're not Tiger Woods yet, then probably a good chance you're not going to be. So like when I hear the numb side of it, that's what I go to is guys, and we've said this before, but like it's new. They have something that's like it's shiny, it's bright, they love it, it's brand new. And then it comes normal, and normal is like once you've like you get married, and it's like everything's great, it's amazing, and then it becomes normal. And then once it becomes normal, then you just fall into your same old routines, your same old habits. You go to the same date night where you eat the same chicken and whatever else. And it's like, well, that like there has to be something that you're working towards. And if you don't have something you're working towards, then no wonder that you feel like you're just kind of going through the motions as far as that stuff goes. So for me, that's having a mission. I'll pass it on to Christian, get his two cents.
Yeah. I love you. I'm good. I'm good.
Big Rollins.
No, you're totally right about just having a purpose, I think, is the biggest thing. And since you've already covered that, another place I could go with this is doing things in life that fill up your cup. So like if you don't want to feel numb anymore, look at areas in your life. Where are you lacking? Are you lacking in the relationship with your wife? Are you lacking in you don't feel confident to go out into public or to take your shirt off at the pool? Like little things that have you really feeling insecure. And let's lean into those areas where you feel like, hey, this is a part in my life that I don't feel satisfied in. I don't feel like I have a good relationship with the Lord. I don't feel like I think the biggest thing is I don't feel like I'm being honest with myself. And that's why you're sedating with all those other things, because you don't like where you currently are, because you're lying to yourself and you do all these other things to cover up who you actually are internally. And so I think that's what we got to do, is just get to the facts of, okay, where am I at right now? What do I not like? And then what do I need to do to bridge the gap to help me get to the place that I do want to get to? And so that's what I love that we do in the GA is we find an area that we lack in. Where are we in the pit at? And then we're going to work on, okay, what are the measurable things that I can track daily, weekly, monthly to get me out of that pit to the peak? Once you're at the peak of a certain skill set, there's always going to be another skill set we can work on. And so then you just do the process all over again. I might have built my relationship with God, but now my business is lacking a little bit. So then what do I need to do? Okay, business-wise, where do I need to start to level up? Then let's start to set those goals. Let's get to the peak in that area. Okay, now my family. I've spent so much time into business that now I'm lacking with my family. Okay, where am I at in the pit here with my family? Okay, what do I need to do to work my way up? So I think it's stop running from where we currently are and actually just get to the facts. And then let's start with, okay, what do we measurably need to do and need to track to help us become the version that we want to become?
Yeah, it is one of those things where there's something with everything that you're doing that there's another level to it. And so it's just deciding that it's never going to stop. You're never going to, it's never a finish line. And I think a lot of guys are waiting for a finish line, and it's not a finish line. It's going to continue to go. And that's what this life on this earth, we're here to work. We're here to put in the effort. We're here to invest in our relationship with God, and to invest in all the other in our relationship with ourselves and our body and our relationship with our family, but also our business and our career and stuff. But at the same intensity, though, that we're investing in those things, we have to make sure that we are focused in on right here, right now, and start to look at what's that next piece that I need to invest in. What's that next version of myself that I need to kill off to reach for that version that's different. And I think we get comfortable, and once we get comfortable, that's when it becomes numb. So next question: what's the fastest way to reset when I have a bad day and I just want to throw the whole week away? So I've been there on this one. Eat really, really well all throughout the week, and then on like a Friday or Saturday, sabotage yourself and all the results that you've built over the course of that week. For me, this one goes back to having a mission again. That like right now I'm in this cut mode of like I'm dropping weight. We put on weight to rebuild and replenish nutrients and vitamins and minerals so I can feel the healthiest I can possibly feel. And now it's going into this cut phase. And so now I'm not getting as much food. I'm getting less carbohydrates, things like that. And for me, it's like just part of the next mission of, okay, this is the next, I'm climbing to this peak. And that peak is I want to be 10% body fat or less. I want to be athletic and perform on another level. I want to be able to do my pistol squats and my dragon squats. I want to grow my hair back. I know like what I'm going for and the guy that I'm working towards. And so that for me is like, again, having a mission. Once you have that mission, now it just becomes like, hey, I can't, I can allow myself to back off a little bit, but then it's just jumping right back on. And also, if you have to jump out, there's probably because you hate doing it, and that's why you have to take a break from it. So again, if you hate doing it now, you'll hate doing it later. So quit trying to do things you hate and force yourself to do things that you don't like doing to get the results that you want. Instead, find a way that actually pulls you forward instead of you dragging yourself forward.
Yeah, for me, it's having that short-term memory. Like you can easily, it's like, oh, I had a bad day. And then you stay stuck into that mindset of, oh, I had a bad day yesterday. And what you focus on is what you get. So if your mind's stuck on the bad day that you had the day before, we can find negativity all day. So if you stay in that negative mindset, you're going to find negativity. And so what you need to do is just have short-term memory with the negative things in your life, and then just start to focus on the positives. Okay, had a bad day yesterday. that day's over with. I'm going to move on and I'm going to come back better the next day. But it's all about just winning each and every single day. Sometimes that's what people look at is they have one bad day and then they go, week screwed up. It's like, bro, there's so many other days for you to have a great week. And then if you have short-term memory, you're going to forget about that crappy day you had on Monday, because Friday, Saturday, if you kept putting the work in that whole week, you're going to be sitting high and mighty. And then you've created momentum in your life. And so get out of that mindset of I had a bad day and feeling sorry for yourself. Nobody cares. Nobody cares but you, and that's going to keep you stuck in that. And then people will start to care because they don't want to be around your negativity.
Yeah.
And then you're just a negative person. And so just short-term memory, and just keep moving forward. But yeah, just get out of that mindset.
Why are you so negative?
Exactly.
Next one. How do I stop being so reactive with my wife and kids? I hate the man I become when I snap. For me, this is before you step into your house after a day's work, take some time to meditate. Meditation, and when I say meditation, I'm it's talking about shutting up, closing your eyes, and just breathing and just being quiet for 10 minutes. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, anything over 20 minutes, you're napping. And so for me, it's that meditation, because what meditation does is you've had a long day. You've had a long day. Somebody cuts you off, and then you're reactive. And what happens is like you're reactive, and then boom, you say something, you do something that sets you back, and it's costing you time and energy, right? Because now you're like in a fight, or because you just didn't create some space. What meditation does is, instead of us being so reactive, which most of us are, and so we say something and boom, it causes more problems, more issues, and it costs us more energy and time. What meditation does is it creates space. So now when that person cuts me off, instead of me getting like frustrated and getting right up on their bumper and doing all the aggressive things, not that I've ever done this before, what it does is it allows me to create some space, and it allows me to reflect and see like, oh, how many times have I cut people off at this same place? And then it makes you start to realize, well, maybe they've got something they're going through. Maybe they're rushing home because there's a problem or an incident or something's happened. And so for me, it's meditation. Probably the most powerful thing that I've given men, besides the text messages that they send to people and besides the Bible stack, stuff like that, probably the most potent is that meditation in the middle of the day, where guys can just separate their day into two. And it's like, okay, I had the morning, taking my lunch, having some meditation after lunch. Now I've got my second half of my day. But I would also say take some time to meditate before you walk into the house for like 5 minutes. And it's just going to create that space so where you're not, because I've been that dude where I come home, it's been a long day. My son was a teenager or whatever, and a lot more, not even a teenager, probably younger than that, when I was business owner in the thick of it and being stressed out. And then I come in the house and my wife's asking, how'd the day go? Simple question, but I just was like, I don't want to talk about it. I just got home today. I want to be done with it. Or my son's doing something annoying and then I say something. So I was that guy for a long time. That's the only reason I can speak on it from there. Now this guy, a little bit different, but you go ahead.
Oh man, I can relate to this too. And you know what the sad and frustrating part is about it? And this is what was very hard for me is I am, to all of our clients, patient, kind, loving, sweet for 12 hours.
My wife says, I wish you would treat me like you treat your clients.
Dude, for 12 hours all day, I'm coaching people and I am patient and I'm all those characteristics. And then I get home and like you're peopled out. You've been around people all day. And so your family and your wife and your dogs and your kids, they get the worst of you.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad about it is all these other people that, yeah, you love those people. You don't love them like you do your wife. You don't love them like you do your kids.
Yeah.
And so why are they getting the worst version of you whenever you're giving other people the best version of you?
Yeah.
And it's a wake-up call whenever your wife one day is like, hey, I'm not going to do this much longer.
Yeah.
If you continue to treat me like this. And it's like, whoa, I was being a jerk.
Yeah.
And so then it's very eye-opening. And what the biggest game changer for me was building a relationship with the Lord, because people are mean. Flesh is evil. And so once you start to build a relationship with God, he gives you a heart like his. He gives you that patience. He gives you that kindness. He gives you that. And the biggest game changer for me was to build my relationship with God and then pray to him. So a lot like meditation, but just sitting in prayer with God and asking him, God, give me the strength to be patient with my family. Give me the strength. And not only just you saying that in prayer, God's going to grant that, and he's going to give you those abilities and those skill sets to be able to accomplish that. But not only that, now it's on your mind. And so when it's on your mind, when you get into those situations, you've thought about it. So then you pause and reflect and go, I'm not going to lash out the way that I used to. And then it changes the man that you are. And so prayer for me and just building my relationship with God was the biggest eye-opening part for me. And that's what changed, because I was that guy for sure.
So, yeah, I love that. So next question goes kind of right along with, I know God has more for me, but how do I actually hear him and move in the right direction when life is so loud? So it sounds like he's lost his spiritual clarity, and the noise is drowning out hearing God, hearing the call. So what would you say on that?
Whenever we pray, God, give me this, God, give me that, God, you're asking for things. Very rarely when we pray do we sit and listen. We don't ever just let God talk. It's always, God, I need this, God, heal this person. It's always, God's not a genie, but we go to him in prayer like he's a genie, and we're asking for all these other things, and we're seeking him in prayer when we need things. But sometimes we just need to sit in silence with him.
Yep.
And so that's something that, that's funny that this is a question, because yesterday, my Bible stack and what I read in the Bible was very in line with just pause and listen sometimes. And so that's
you didn't read Luke.
Out of the leadership
Luke 10,
devotional.
What was it, Martha and Mary?
No.
So it
was different. But
so Luke 10, I think it's Luke 10. Might be Luke 14. No, it's Luke 10. I did Luke 14 today. Luke 10. 41 and 42, verse 41, 42. Martha, so Jesus comes to visit, and there's these two sisters, Martha and Mary. And Martha and Mary are like, imagine like Jesus comes in and he's visiting your house. You're going to clean stuff up. You're going to make sure he's got a good meal and do all these things. Well, Martha and Mary, Martha, one sister, she was doing all the work. She was trying to get the house ready. She's trying to make a good meal for Jesus. And Jesus is sitting there and he's just speaking. And Mary is sitting at his feet and just listening to everything that he pours out, is listening to everything that there. And Martha comes over and says, Jesus, will you tell her to get up and like help me? Like, listen, that like, and Jesus is like, Mary realizes she has everything she needs right here. And so what that was for me was, we're so focused on producing and doing and moving and going and getting all these things done, when like that's what Jesus was reminding Martha, is like, hey, I just need you to sit here and listen. So
that was your post.
That was
everything you have. You already
and that's what I do though. Is like that's why I started, and it was crazy that was from my Bible stack and from reading that, because 2 days prior to that, I just decided I was going to spend 10 minutes just to sit in silence and listen. And then I see that as my Bible stack. So for me, that's the other side of it is for what you're saying is like 100% agree with everything you're saying. But then on the other side of that is like, God's always trying to communicate with you and speak with you. And so like another way of doing that's like inside of the Bible, getting in the Bible. And then like, what's he trying to pour into you? Like, what is it that he's laying out? And then like you taking some time to like decipher what's going through. And that's what we do at the Bible stack. Yep. Like that's what is like, I want to get better at prayer. Okay. Then you go and you pray that you want to get better for prayer. And then you ask for an opportunity to touch someone through prayer and to be able to pray over someone. Then you come in the next day, 24 hours later, you come in, and then Aaron Owens' clients asking you like, hey, I'm going on this long trip. I feel really uncomfortable asking you this, but I feel like you're equipped. Will you pray over me? And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, that's like wild that this has happened. But that was all because you slowed down, you got in the Bible, you asked, and you saw something in the Bible stack that you need to get better at. So God was communicating to
Yep.
you. Then you asked for that help, and then you ask, you shall receive, and then He delivered it to you right there. Unexplainable. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way that you can go, oh, well, that was something. No, it's just unexplainable. That's God.
Yep.
So that for me, I think also is getting around other guys. That's what the Relentless Faith Bible Experience is for, is to get guys around in communion with God, but at the same time, seeing different perspectives on what individuals are seeing and then having some accountability around that. That's something we offer at the Relentless Faith Bible Experience every Friday at 7 a.m. on Zoom. A little plug there. Let's get these last two knocked out.
Yeah.
I'm successful on paper, but inside I feel like a fraud. How do I stop living this double life? So looks good on the outside, kind of dying on the inside. So this is where a lot of everything that we're doing is like you have put your identity in the money that you've made instead of putting your identity in what God created you to be and who God created you to be. And so when you've put all your focus on this one, I'm successful on paper, everything looks good, but inside, the things that you're doing. The things that you look at, the things that you do to disconnect, the things that you throw in your mouth, whether when you're stressed out. And so like you're trying to heal yourself with food and alcohol and all these other things when it's just like it goes back to, it's like investing in your relationship with God, investing in your family, investing in yourself through physical fitness and health, and realizing that you investing in your relationship with God, you investing in your relationship with yourself and your body, and you investing in your relationship with your family will help your business tenfold, because now you're showing up as the man that you're called to be.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's the person that you are in the dark, you are unsatisfied with, and you know that. And so you try to cover it up with all the things that you do out in the light. And so, yeah, until you attack those areas of who you are in the dark and get to the facts on that, then you're always going to feel like a fraud. But if you're doing the little things, and like I love the example you use of if there's a piece of trash on the ground, no one's around, I can just leave it there. But you know that you did that. And so that can be something that's so small, but you skipping out on something like that just leads to all those other things where you're going to let yourself off the hook and not be the man that you want to be. So start with little things like that. Do small tasks. Go put somebody's card up for them. Go do small things that
Make a promise to yourself and follow through with the promise.
Yeah.
That's how you start to change who you are and your identity that's how you start to be different is like that's what like the appreciation text, when it comes to like us sending appreciation text. I get so many guys that are like, man, this is so powerful, me sending this appreciation text. Why? Because they're shifting their focus off of themselves and all the problems, and they're putting on somebody else and giving them some love and appreciation. And then like when you shift your focus on all your stuff that's going on and you start to like pour into other people, you start to get that back too. So
yeah.
Good on that one?
Yeah.
Last one. What would you do first if you were me and you knew you were stuck, but felt completely overwhelmed about where to even start? So most of the people, and I say people because we work with women inside the Vitality Mill, but men, most of the time when individuals say that they are overwhelmed, it isn't that they're overwhelmed, it's that they have no clarity. And so when you're overwhelmed, it's like you've got all these things. But if I asked you to identify 5 things that need to be done, and you list 5 things, do the first thing. Now you're not overwhelmed. Now you know exactly what needs to be done next. Is like, I gotta get this done and move forward. And so it's not that you're stuck. It's that you've got all these things going on and you have no clarity on the direction that you're going. And when you start getting clarity on the direction that you're going, it starts to eliminate all the noise of all the other things. And you start to get clarity on, like, this is what needs to be done today. I got to get these things done today and move forward. This is what needs to be done this month. This is what needs to be done this week. This is what needs to be done today. That's what we do inside the Grill Alliance, is when we start getting clarity and I start to work with guys. It's first, I just want to get you mentally and physically weaponized. Get you mentally and physically weaponized. Now we're looking at life different. Now, once we start to go from there, then we go, okay, what are the next 90 days? What's a result that I want to get in my body, in my relationship with God, in my relationship with my wife and kids, and in my business and my career? What's one target in each of those areas I want to work towards in next 90 days and want to accomplish? And now once we start to get that, now it's starting to be like, okay, I start to understand. Then we expand it out and we go towards the impossible game. And that impossible game is every area of life having 4 measurable results that we're going after that seems impossible right now. But when we put the work in and we continue to put the work in, then what starts to happen is you slowly, and you put your focus on just the steps there in front of you and not down the road, then you're not overwhelmed, and you can just you can start to take the next step forward, and before you know it, you're standing at the peak, and then you win.
Yeah. Yeah. And to get that clarity for a lot of people, it's because they need a coach. They need accountability, because a lot of those people, they might be stuck and they don't, like you said, they don't have the clarity to know what direction they need to take. And so they just need a coach that can help pinpoint them and set them up, just put them in the right direction. And a good coach is just somebody who asks questions, and people can start to figure things out themselves just by you bringing a simple question to them, because we're not dumb. We know what food is going to be nutritious for us, and we know what food's not going to be. We know we shouldn't have that burger, but we do it. Why? Because we don't have any accountability. Yeah. We don't have any other people around us that are going to hold us accountable to the task that we said that we would do. And so you need to get yourself a group of people that hold you accountable to doing what you said you would do. If not, you're just going to continue to let yourself off the hook, and you're going to continue to stay stuck. So you need to find people and actually speak. If there's things that you want to get better at in your life, put it out there and speak it, and don't just have it in here, because you'll let yourself down all the time. You're not going to let people around you down.
Yeah, you get around people that have better results than you, or have results that you that are working towards it, and then jump in with them. What you're going to start to realize is you're not on an island and you're not alone. That we're all struggling with the same stuff, but at the same time, you start to get that accountability and that leverage to follow through, because nobody wants to be the guy that doesn't do what he said he was going to do.
Exactly.
Those are the 10. So here's the deal. We have a few different ways that we got our podcast, obviously, Relentless Game, turning chaos into power. This is laying it out, giving you some direction. The other side of that is, soon I have the drive protocol. This is what I'm seeing with guys, is a lot of guys have low testosterone, and it's impacting their mindset, and it's impacting their results, and they feel like something's wrong with them, when actually it's just a chemical a problem where we need to work on getting our testosterone. So like the drive protocol is something that I'm giving away for free. Had a client who was struggling. His wife was 30, he's 40. He hadn't got his blood checked in 5 years. And it was one of those things where he's needing to, he's all over the place. He's overwhelmed, and his testosterone is low. And so they may have kids. And so it's one of those things where he needs to have some type of protocol to put into play to help his testosterone rise right now, so that he can show up like he needs to. So the drive protocol is there. We got the Relentless Faith Bible Experience. That's 7 a.m. on Fridays. All you got to do is message me, and I will send you the link to that. And lastly, we have the Game to 180. Game to 180 is that's how you start to jump in the game with us, and you start to play, and we start to get some clarity on what it is that is in your way right now. And we start to weaponize that body and mind, and we start to get you in the Bible and the Bible stack. And I'm seeing individuals and guys change like crazy from just that implement the Bible stack and putting it in play. Not only that, but then adding in everything else that we do. That's how we win on the other side of that. So we've got tons of ways to be able to help you. We're giving away a lot of that stuff for free. Game to 180 is for guys that are like serious, that like, hey, I want to come in and work with you for 90 days and start to not only build my body, but also start to weaponize my mind in the way that I think, so we can take action and win on the other side. So we'd love to help you. You can message me and find all that information on my bio. That's at Instagram at seth.p.humphrey. And then Seth P. Humphrey on Facebook. And like I said, you go to my bio, you can find the Bible Stack. You can find Relentless Faith Bible Experience. You can find the podcast, and you can find a link to the Game 180 as well. So what do you got?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm mainly the fitness and nutrition guy. So if you want to learn more about working out, learn more about how to eat right, you can find my Instagram at boo_trains6 on Instagram.
Yep. So we're here for you guys. We would love to help you. Just connect, and we'll go from there. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you on the other side.
This is a relentless game, turning less chaos into power. This is a relentless game. I've been up grinding 10,000 hours. This is a relentless game. Always put my faith inside a game.